Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. I'm CityZilla, and in today's episode we're going to be working on some transit fixes as well as a couple other things. I did do a few things in between recordings. I built out this new neighborhood just because it's really nothing special, and so I felt like I could just whip it together real fast and then show you guys. But then we also created an underground interchange, and this took me a little while to do. I really wanted to get the curves nice and smooth, and then I want it to be kind of realistic to an above ground one. I did have to move this tunnel out of the way as it was kind of right in the direction of a couple of these flyovers, but I think I got it together pretty well. So I have two flyovers over the freeway, and then they both directions funnel into 2-lane one-ways that then funnel into a 4-lane above ground where the tunnel comes out over here. And then I did decide to hook up this road to our main road over here, just because this is going to end up providing some really good through access for this area. Then something else that I had stumbled across, it was in one of Imperator's videos actually. If you use the ploppable asphalt mod, you can cover up the little tears in the ground that were created by using the vanilla taxiways to fix that little lag that's happening with the taxiways. It looks really good. I did also put in a couple airport lounges in here. I've been getting some really good suggestions from everybody in the comments. Thank you so much. This last week has been really crazy. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the praise that we're getting. I also did want to mention, I have a volunteer for the channel that has been doing my captions for all of Crater Lake. And he had approached me trying to expand availability or access to the deaf and hard of hearing community. I thought it was just so cool, and so he's been working with me this whole time, and I really wanted to provide a way for you guys to say thank you to him if anybody is appreciative of the teletext captions. And so we are going to attach a buy me a coffee link to the description, so if you guys want to throw him a little donation, we super appreciate it. And so in today's episode I have a couple ideas. I want to expand our tram network, and what I'm thinking is we will probably just extend our current tram network, which is this road, have it come down here, and then have it loop around our college campus. And then because this area has no mass transit right now, I think it would be really smart for us to also extend our metro line. And so what I'm thinking is we could do a really cool metro station right there, and then we'll probably do a couple above ground metro stations. And then I think we will end up losing this commercial center right here, just because I feel like adding in the metro station is going to really increase the value of this area, as well as just help to transport people a little further without having to use the cars. And so I think it's a really good idea. And so let's go ahead and dive right in. And so first thing I want to do is grab our little picker mod, grab this guy, and then it's going to be super easy. I'm literally just going to, this is our tram road right now, and I'm just going to extend it all the way down here. Yeah, there we go. Super easy. I literally just extended it all the way around, and then now it gives us the opportunity to go into our trams, look at our tram lines, and I think we're just going to create a new tram line here, especially since we still have we have 3 bays open until this transit terminal is full. And then I would just want to mirror these stations so that people could use them as transfers if they wanted to. But then we'll have this turn right, and then we'll have it go up here. And then we'll probably do 2 stops on this, and then 1 stop over here, and then have it just copy the stops going back. So we'll go like that, and have it complete. And I really think this is going to end up turning into a really busy line, and that's why I think having the tram is going to be so important. And then let's see how many trams it's going to give us. So 9 trams, and the trams only have the 90 passenger capacity, which is still pretty high, especially versus the buses. But with the new buses, you definitely have some better options than that now. But the metro with the high capacity trains, you can get up to 500, which is why I really want to extend it over there. And you can kind of already see we're getting some really heavy lines. Where is this one? Oh yeah, so these are just people trying to get to the downtown area, which is kind of funny. Why are they're waiting for the red line now instead of the green line? That's kind of interesting. The green line was always our really busy one here, but it does look like maybe people are just trying to save a little time. I think we'll get rid of that stop though. There's literally a stop right there, so there's no point in having that guy right there, especially one right there too, so they could just walk all the way back here. And so I think that's going to work out good. So now hopefully our university will start to get a little more people. Oh wow, so it looks like 1227 out of 1200, and we've been pumping out academic works. We already got 16 out of 8, but it does look like we just need to increase our attractiveness by 50. It's kind of funny with the airports, we haven't really been doing this. And so what I was thinking is we can delete these guys, and I was already thinking this before because I think this area would just look so cool for a nice park. So I want to come in here and we will go to trade school, and then I think this trade school academic statue will probably be good. Oh, we need to extend our campus area. I don't think we'll do the whole thing, there's really no point, even though this is kind of like a student housing area. I don't think we're going to actually be adding in any like dormitories or anything down there. I want this to be like in the middle. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. And then I stumbled across these new hedge networks that are actually really cool. They allow you to bend the hedges and kind of go in circles. It's a traceable objects hedge, and it is by Simo G. And what it does is exactly like what I said, but it allows you to go around corners, and it creates this nice little curve, which I think is just really nice. It's going to allow us to kind of enclose this area off, and then we can jump in here and just do probably a couple of these big trees. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. It's not overdone, which is really what we're going for. We don't want to overdo this, and we would still want to leave some grass areas for people to kind of hang out. And so let's see if that... Yep, so 925 out of 900. So we actually should hit our next level on this next one. What is it, like 2 weeks? Yeah, great. We haven't worked on the university in a little while, so that'll be good. And then so let's work on our metro now. So what I'm thinking is we'll have this guy come down, and we'll probably... I think this is a little bumpy. Yeah, they're not really even. Yeah, you know what? It is a little bumpy on that end, but it will allow us to place the metro station. And so we'll come in here, and I'm going to use one of the bridges and piers ones just because I think they look really good. And we'll do the elevated island platform metro station. I think I want the short side to be on that side. So let's look at this right here. Hey, you know what? That actually looks pretty good, and it does look like... Looks like our path was trying to come with the tram station there, or the metro station. So we can get rid of those too. You know what? I think that looks pretty good. We are a little high up on this side, but that's not a huge concern as we're going to end up turning that way. And then we have enough clearance to where we can start going up over here, and it's not going to be too extreme. But before we forget, I do want to draw back in that path. Yeah, there we go. It is still a little sloped, but it definitely looks a lot better than it did. And so now what that allows us to do is jump into our metro, and I think we're just going to do a little bit of the metro over road. Don't really like that turn, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Yeah, it's not really too bad. This palm tree, though, would probably be a little bit of a risk. It looks like the construction workers actually built the tram line with the palm tree included, which would probably be a safety risk. We can come back and place some more palm trees, but I think that looks good, you know. I do wish that this was a little... Yeah, there you go. Then I'm going to jump into the network multi-tool and go to the slope tool. It is a little bumpier than I was hoping. I think we can raise this up just a little bit, but then we can jump into load controller and turn this into a slope piece. Yeah, you know what? That actually right there fixed most of our issues. It is still downhill, but it's not terrible, and so it does look like I had prop and tree anarchy on those. So I think if we shift those, yep, we're good. And then let's jump over here. And so what I'm thinking is we're probably going to have to do a little eminent domain scenario, delete these guys, which is just terrible, but I really think it's going to help to revitalize this area with some new transit options and stuff. And so let's go ahead and look at it now. Let's jump in here, and I think we're going to do the glass guy just because having it on this street is going to end up looking really cool. It's going to be something that you like drive under, especially a busy street like this. That would just be really cool. And so I'm just going to hook this up real quick and do a nice little curve. Hey, there you go. While I was building it out, we hit acclaimed. Wow, so we haven't really worked on our school at all for a while. So we have trade school laboratories, trade school bookstore, and trade school auditorium. Did we get any of our big ones? I don't think we got any. Laboratory's pretty big, but it's not one of the schools. I think you get the last school on the final unlock. So then over here, we need to pause because we're ruining that line. I want to place another station right here, as this would really be a big access point for us. And so I think we're going to go like that. And then I think we're going to bring this back because I want that to be straight. All right, so I think now what we're going to do is have this curve, and we'll use this 16 meter metro over road asset. And so I'll probably go like right there. We'll have just come up here, go like that, go like that, and then probably end right there. And you know, I'm going to lower this down. For some reason, whenever I use these, they just end up so high. And there we go. And so we will end up having to get rid of these guys. I don't know why I'm in move it. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I think, you know, we'll get rid of this guy too, because then it's like a uniformity thing. We don't have any zoning on the other side. We just have that park. And so we will come in here and just connect this up. Yeah, you know what? That actually doesn't look bad. I kind of wish it was a little more curved, but this wouldn't be bad. It is a little steep, but there's really nothing we can do about that. And then what I'm thinking for this area is something a little crazy. What I want to do is some water again, and then probably a bridge across. And then we'll do some really fun like planters and trees and everything. And so first off, what I want to do is jump into the shift terrain tool, and then we're going to bring it down just so that we can choose a nice height. We don't need to go too deep, maybe like right there. And then what I'm thinking is we'll extend this all the way out, and then we'll go into our water, drop this down, go like right there, bring this all the way down, go like right there, and then hit play. And I think once we're done with this, we'll work on those university upgrades, because we still do have some room right here. But then I would also like to kind of extend this little plateau. And so maybe we'll have our little neighborhood kind of wrap down here. But then we'll have this key wall kind of wrap around. I think that'd be kind of cool. We could do the student housing kind of backs up in here, and we can do another path that goes up there. I think that'd be fun. All right, so now what we're going to do is choose a level like right there, and we're just going to come across. And this is a super easy way to just make smaller waterways. This is kind of a little bit of a cheat for it. You start off with a really big waterway and then just gradually make it smaller. You can actually make them really small. The water source just stays below ground, which is really neat. And so now what we're going to do is jump into the picker mod, go like this, go to unmodded. And then we're just going to draw this across. I want that section to be like that. And I want the middle section to be ground. And so we got to wait for the water to level out again. And then what I'm thinking is we will jump into our bridges and piers metro station. I want to do this glass one again. I know having multiple of them is kind of weird, but I want it to be level. So like right there. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. And then now what we're going to do is jump into our keys, go to the bridges and piers one again, take off snapping, and then go like right here. I think that'll be good. And voila. And so now all we need to do is just kind of clean this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I feel like that's pretty parallel. And so now what I want to do is come in here and use Surface Painter to paint in the middle. Perfect. And so now I'm going to jump into our little grass planters, the same ones that I used before. And it doesn't really matter if they're the conforming or the non-conforming. I'm going to do the 4 meter ones though. These are the ones by Grooney. And then I believe the default spacing is a little close. Yeah, so I'm going to jump into spacing and probably bring these up to 8. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, you know what? That actually looks perfect. And so I'm going to choose a, like right, you know what? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe we'll go 10. I think we'll go 9. Yeah, we'll go like that. So then we will choose a similar spot on this side and then go 9 out again. All right, there we go. And so now what I'm thinking is we'll do a tree every other one, and then we'll use some cool lights for the opposite ones. And so we'll come in here and I'm going to choose one of the new trees again, this young Lindell, and just do every other tree. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I like these trees, how they're slender in the middle. These definitely look like the type of trees that you see in like really nice landscaping areas. And so now what I'm going to do is go into Find It and search up light. And I have these really cool lights. It's called a light column, and it is by GC Vos. And I'll make sure that this is in my modern asset collection on Steam. And I'm just going to place these in every other planter in between the trees. And these lights are really cool. They give off kind of a blue light, but they are a little more modern, and I think they look clean. They definitely fit in with the motif that we're trying to give here, the vibe we're trying to have here. And there we go. You know, I think that looks really good. I just want to do a couple little benches as well, just because this would be a really nice area for people to come and kind of sit down and just relax. And so I think what we'll do is first off, have them facing the right direction. And we'll probably just do a couple on each side. So maybe we'll go like that, we'll go like that, and we'll go like that. I'm putting them in front of the light so that people could sit at night too. Just because I feel like even at night, this would be a really nice area to kind of just hang out and look at the water. Yeah, you know what? I think the benches are a nice touch. And then last but not least, I want to switch to night view. All right, and so here we are in night view, and I think these lights are really cool. They give off a pretty good amount of light too, but they're definitely a little more modern, how they have these 3 little lights at the top, and then they do light up the bench, and it just looks really cool. But I want to add some light to our water as well. And so I just want to use these little white floodlights, and I got this idea from Overcharged Egg in his Ilios build. He used these on a couple of his bridges, and I thought they just looked so cool. If you guys haven't checked out that build yet, it is definitely a good one to check out. But I like how it just gives this wall a nice clean look, some contrast. And so if you were looking out here, you would see a little bit of light now, and then if you're driving by, it would look really nice. And so I do want to upgrade this road as well. This road would be a main arterial at this point, and then it does also give us some nice clean white light as well. So we're going to go ahead and grab that road, and then we are just going to come across. I don't think we're going to do any of the connections. We're just going to... All right, and so now we have these nice clean white lights surrounding it, and I think this new metro station looks really good. It definitely would be a huge investment for the city, but I think by us expanding metro out here and this kind of being more of an upscale area, it would definitely fit in. And it also, you know, works as a really nice area to just kind of go to and relax. And so be a nice amenity for the area. I'm just going to switch back to daytime now. Yeah, and there we go. I think this looks really good. I like how we did the water. I like how we left the little cliff face on this side too. I think it looks good. I do want to try to clean up this little side though. Don't want to mess with it too much, but I think we can just drag in a little bit of this. Yeah, there you go. Just kind of cleans up that key wall a little bit. Don't want to go too crazy, but just enough to clean it up. And then I did end up getting a new version of the node controller. For some reason, for anybody who has been watching, you've probably heard me talk about how after the DLC update, I was having some performance issues with node controller. That's why I haven't been playing with it, but I did find another version. I'll go ahead and link it in my mod and asset list again. It works really well. It's not as robust. Like, as you can see, I don't have complete control over the nodes independently. So the directions, all I really have is the ability to change the offset for the entire intersection, but it does still work. I mean, these are really nice turns. You just can't really mess with like the direction of the lines anymore and all that, which does kind of suck. But I do want to go in here though. It looks like we have an extra node here. So I'm going to go into there and just take that away. We really don't need that there, a random crosswalk. And then we probably will end up expanding this road out as we start to develop this area. I think this is going to be a little bit later though, because I really want to start doing that downtown here. And I had a really cool idea to do kind of like a Miami downtown with some different varying levels, since it's kind of on a hill and stuff like that. I think it would just be really cool. And so last but not least, all we need to do is hook this guy up, and then we can get our train line going. I think maybe if we started curving it right there, might actually make a little more sense, but I don't really want to mess up our plaza here. Let's see what it looks like just hooking it up right here. And just, it's not really that great. Maybe if we can just lower this down a little bit. Because this is still pretty high. I thought we lowered this down, but I guess not. Yeah, there you go. So I think that's probably good right there. And then this will probably make our little descent much better too. Because then we can even lower that down a little bit. Yeah, you know what? That already looks so much better. And voila. Got this going. Let's see what the slope tool gives us for this. Perfect. So now we have a nice smooth transition. It's not entirely smooth, but it'll work for our purposes. And then let's go ahead and look at the rest of the line. Oh, we didn't adjust this guy yet. So we want the two nodes that are going over. So this guy, we'll adjust one at a time. So we need this guy to be a little bit taller. So maybe like right there. And then we'll probably just grab these two and make it the same height. Yeah, there you go. And then that way what we can do is jump back into the slope tool, grab this node, and then just go right there. And then we can do the same thing on this side. So grab that node and then go right there, hit enter. And then that way our slope is just a little more gradual. I do want to turn this one piece away from the actual bridge piece though. I just want it to be elevated. Bridge pieces are nice, but I think in that scenario they're a little weird. And so we still got a nice smooth connection, going this way. And then this is where our weird little hill is, but I think it looks okay. I think we do need to move this back just a smidge though. Maybe we'll move this up to like right there. And then what we can do is just connect that up. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a nice little curve. There is a little bit of a bend here, but I don't think there's really too much we can do about that. So then we are just going to draw on the line real quick. All right, so we drew in the line. We should have trains coming any second. I know we need to hook this guy up to power. Yeah, he doesn't have any connection, so I think I'm just going to use some of those little power boxes again. We'll probably just put one right here. I think that'll end up bridging the connection. If we go like right there, does that do it? Yeah, it does. Perfect. And so I do want to clean up this little guy. I haven't really thought about what we're going to do with this guy, if we're going to extend the plaza or if we'll do something cool. I guess we could do some more of the curbs or something in there. I think that would look good. Kind of what we did with the school. We could actually probably do that real quick. I'm just going to go into our curb network. Yeah, there we go. I decided to just use the other curb networks. I think that looks really good. It's almost like a stairs, but it's still a ramp. But then these are a little bit higher, and so this actually would be pretty good. I think we can then just come in here and probably use that new tree that I'm probably overusing way too much at this point, but just kind of clean it up. And then because that's there, we'll just go like that. No, I think that looks fantastic. I definitely use this tree a lot, but I think the detail on it is just so amazing. It looks so good. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I like that we did that instead of doing the little white curbs. The white curbs really don't work too well on uneven ground. You definitely got to have more of a stable base for them. And so let's look at our new metro line. All right, so Metro Line 3, let's go ahead and change the color. Let's go to like a yellow. I think that's good. Yeah, there you go. And then so it looks like it has two vehicles. I want to use the high capacity Metro. And I think we probably could get away with 3. This line's not super long, but it does have quite a few stops. But I think 3 500 passenger trains will probably be enough. We'll let this run and then we'll come back to it. Let's check on our tram line while we're here, because I can already see, I mean, look at this. It's a ton of people are using that, which is great. Really felt like this was going to end up being just a super busy line, especially because this would be like your university line. And so any students who are going to class or whatever would end up taking this line probably quite regularly, even with having the metro right across the street. Having the tram stop right here would just be such a benefit. But I think they're running pretty good. I don't think we need to add any more trains. We probably even got maybe one or two too many trains for that. But then I think our metro for right now is going pretty good too. And then I do want to set up our bus line for the airport as well. We definitely had quite a few transit fixes in this episode, but I had a few comments bring up the bus lines or the bus streets and how we built this entire area with the bus streets in mind, and yet we didn't use them. And so it definitely would be kind of weird, especially if the airport had spent all that money painting in or dedicating an entire lane to buses or taxis. You would definitely have buses and taxis, which we don't have either of them. So it would definitely be kind of weird. Yeah, there you go. And then I'm going to jump into Network Multi-Tool, unlock this road, and then I want to turn off that. And then I think we're going to get rid of this guy, and we'll probably just extend the road out there. But then I want to use a bus road for this, so I think I have a 4-lane two-way. Yeah, there you go, 4-lane two-way road with bus lane no parking, which is just fantastic. But then I think what we'll do, and that turned into a bridge piece, I want to curve this into this little intersection right here. And then now that we have that new node controller, we can actually jump in here and extend this out. Let's go to like 20. Yeah, I think 25 is good. That's pretty wide, but this would be pretty big interchange, so it would be pretty important. All right, and so I went around and changed the offset for pretty much all these little ramp areas. These ones back here too, and it just is a lot better. I actually didn't do these ones, so I'll do that real quick. Just makes it a little smoother so that people can keep the speed, and then even on these ones as well, I can come in here and then change this into a slope piece. Just, makes it a little more realistic rather than having those kind of flat grounds. But it's kind of funny, as I was doing this, we got an update from our school, and I had forgotten something pretty important back here, and that's why it's so important to do power lines right away, because I had deleted a power line and didn't connect it up, and so we are having some issues over here. We have some abandonment, which it looks like, they're growing back already. I did hook up the power, and then our school was all the way down to 0 students, and so we're going to have to fight that back up to 09. We did unlock all the new stuff, though, so I don't think that relocks. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah, so we still have the laboratory and the auditorium and all that, but I'll have to rebound them. That's why I need to really just do them right away, because that is such a huge thing. And we've done it a couple times. Remember, we did it for the downtown, where the entire downtown ended up dying. All the people would probably be really upset at this point. They're like, we're just sick of it. And so now we'll jump into buses, and I want to do a biofuel bus depot. And so maybe we'll jump down here. Where am I? I'm on the wrong side. Maybe we'll go like right here, and then while we're over here, I want to do taxi depots. So I think we're going to do 3 of these guys. And the reason we're going to do 3 is because it kind of reminds me of in Las Vegas, all the taxi depots are all on one road. There still are some that are spread out through the city, but there's one road in particular that has just a bunch of them. And they actually have huge parking garages to house all the limousines and taxis and everything. It's really crazy. But having these 3 will be really nice for the city, especially since we haven't had taxis up to this point. I know, especially once you get taxis going, they are pretty well utilized. And so now that we got buses, we can come in here, and I want to do an express route just from here to here. And then we'll come back and just complete that guy. But then I also want to do a line that is just like a shuttle for the airport, and so I'm just going to do on the top, and then it's going to go down to the bottom, go like that, and then just complete. And so that way, that would literally just be like a pickup if you were in front, and it would bring you over here to go to the station or whatever. You could still walk across, but it would just depend, like if somebody wanted to take the shuttle or the metro or whatever. And so now let's jump in here and look at our buses. So bus line 2 was the shuttle bus, and we could do, a mini bus. Let's see how many people. So only 30. I guess that's not bad though, because we definitely don't need 9. Yeah, and that's what, the shuttle buses a lot of times are those little mini buses, so I think that's actually pretty good. So number of vehicles, 5. We might even do, we'll say 4. 4 is good. But then we'll jump over to the other one, and I want to do the articulated airport bus. I really like these new buses. I think they're great. And so I'm just going to draw on this fence again real quick, and then I think we could do same trees again, just because we kind of left this area a little barren. And then just some light foliage, nothing too crazy. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I really like that we were able to add that in. I think having multiple transit options is always a good bet, and so having that there would be good for the city. And so now what I want to do is try to figure out a nice area for those new additions. So we got Trade School Auditorium, which is, pretty big. I think the bookstore would be good up near the front. It would be really great if we could figure out a spot like up here, but I don't think, maybe if we go, I think that's actually a really good location. I think we will get rid of that path though. I think having the path go through the building like that would be weird. It does kind of make it look cool. It looks like people are actually going through the bookstore, but yeah, because a lot of times you have bookstores on like main areas. They wouldn't be really deep into the university, so I think that's good. And then the laboratories, we're pretty tight over here. I think the auditorium would be the best one for over here. Let's see what that looks like. And you know what? I think that actually looks pretty good. And so I do want to come in here, go like this, and then we could even extend our plaza over here. I don't think we'll do that though. I think we will come in here, because then we could do another park or something right there. I think that would be nice, like another plaza. And then I think we'll end up doing something right there too, like a nice green space. We could do the laboratories back here, or even over here. Let's go ahead and extend this ground out and see what we can get going. Hey, you know what? I think that actually looks really good, and then it still leaves us a little bit of room to be able to do something on this side. I think we will leave it terminating like that for right now, because I'm not really sure if we'll have the key wall extend this way and then maybe looped down. And then that leaves us room, so we have the laboratory and then actually just the laboratory, so maybe we'll use this for our other school, which I think would be good. So we'll go like that, and then I do want to create a nice area. So since this school is right here, we would probably want to put the other school maybe facing this way. I think that would be good. We could put it right on the edge. So then we have one school right there, one school right there, and then we'll have one school right here. And then this would just be a really nice campus area. This would be, a really nice campus area. And so we will come in here, and I think we'll turn on snapping, go like that. And then I think we'll even extend our little area right there. And then maybe we can put the laboratory in the middle. I think that would be great. Yeah, and there we go. I think that looks great. And we could do a little plaza right here too. So we have a plaza right there. I think we'll end up extending this plaza out, and then we'll probably end up putting in one of our schools over here. But I think this little area down here kind of leaves some room for us to be able to do a nice plaza, which I think would just be fantastic, even if we did something small. Yeah, there we go. Nothing too crazy. I just did some bushes, and then I used a surface painter to use this field to get this nice green in the middle. And then I used surface painter with concrete around the outside and just created a nice little area. And then I think we're going to leave this empty for when we unlock the next school. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks good. This kind of looks like it may be missing some trees. Maybe we'll just come in here and put in a couple of these guys. Kind of was hoping that the flowers were going to be good, but I think, yeah, you know what? I think that looks a lot better. This school would definitely be on the higher end. Having this planter here would be really cool. And so if you guys enjoyed this build, go ahead and hit the like button. On the next episode, what we're going to be doing is working on our airline headquarters, our airline museum, and then I think we're going to be bringing the interstate above ground finally, and creating some access points. And then we'll probably still be working around on our university. I think after this one, I'm hoping with the new upgrades, we do have to wait now. We literally went all the way down to the bottom, which is just terrible. But it should be, next just a couple years, I'll have to let the game run for us to get back up to where we were. And then hopefully we can place that in and then have a level 5 university. But let me know what you guys think. If you're new to the series and you enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe. We have some really exciting things coming up, and I will catch you on the next episode. Thank you so much.